What's good, everybody? It is Friday, April 15, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We are called the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not even close. When you do this every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you're going to have the good days. Oh, you're going to have the bad days, too. We're the most transparent show as well. And if you're going to go down in flames, you might as well go down with the Calgary Flames. Late night, horrible day, onward, upward, we move on. So I got to bring in my heavy hitters. We need a bounce back Friday. So look who I have today. Oh, my goodness. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, fellas. Got a little tennis sweat over here, so sorry if I'm distracted for a second, but it's about to close out this match. Fired up for Friday baseball, love a full slate.
And you know we're here for the tennis sweat. You never have to apologize for that. Now, normally on a normal day, good job, Jonathan, we have a little production meeting. I feel the energy of my crew to see what I have to do as the host. And today, we've got a fired up Johnny Bowman. Johnny B, I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here for you. Good morning.
Yeah, Coach. Looking to bounce back today. All business today. We got to get some winners.
I love the laser focus. So if I need to bring in heavy hitters and I need to bring in the absolute rock stars of the business, then I go out west. Wait. Or I go to parts unknown. Ladies and gentlemen, we call him Alex. You call him Prop Stars. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Mike, John, this is my first show with John, so I'm fired up, Coach. I got the Sting shirt on as well, Coach. How about that?
One guy I was never in the ring with was Sting. I would have liked that. He's an icon with every sense of the word. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I tell you what, you heard Mikey say day baseball. Well, that means we're going to start with baseball today. So, M Squared, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so throughout the year, we talk a lot about weather. We also talk a lot about home plate umpires. Quick little nugget on how you can get ahead of figuring out who the home plate umpire will be for the second game of a series. The umpires will rotate counterclockwise around the mound. So watch who is on first base tonight, that is who will be behind home plate in the next game. But today we're focused on Angel Hernandez, going to be the home plate umpire in the Kansas City Royals game. Dating back to 2019, he is 85-63-1 to the over for 57%. Definitely profitable if you were to blindly bet every single over that he has been the umpire for. Those numbers increase closer to 60% if you look at just the last year and a half, averaging close to 10 runs per game. First game of the season for him, went over with 13 runs. Very generous to hitting, very rough on the pitching. Watch out for that tonight in Kansas City.
Well, that's next level kind of stuff. But some of you out there, you love it. You love to dig deep, and this is a way that you can do that. Look forward. All right. A lot of people have been weighing in on the naming contest. How about the bullpen for his picks? I don't know. I'm still trying to settle in on it. But regardless, we've got a storyline today. And you told us that be very careful on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But Johnny B, what about Fridays?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, weird things happen on Thursdays, but it usually evens out on Fridays. The starters are back in the lineup. Either it's the opening game of a series or the second game of the series for everybody. Last night, there were tons of errors. We had Albert Pujols trying to steal a base. We had one of the Rockies forced out at third base on a base hit to left. A lot of weird things happening. Usually evens out on Fridays. There are a lot more true outcomes, and while Thursdays are the biggest dog day of the week, Fridays are usually the biggest favorite day of the week. And a couple key notes that I had, a couple of athletics players might not be traveling to Toronto because they're unvaccinated, so be aware to see who's in the lineup there. And this year, tiebreakers at the end of the season aren't settled by a one-game playoff anymore. They're settled by head-to-head record first, and then a long list of tie-breaking procedures. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of teams rest their players after winning a series before a big series like the White Sox did with the Rays coming into town today. So I could see a lot of different game strategy now that there's not a final playoff game.
That is such an interesting theory, and will probably play out right in front of our very eyes about that. That is fascinating. Head-to-head now instead of a one-game playoff.
Yeah. I was trying to think of how exactly it would affect teams, but I think the way to do it is that they would pitch all their best bullpen guys against the better team. So the White Sox would want to win that 2-game series against the Rays,
Right.
where say they play the Orioles next week, they won't have as many relievers available and they'll go all in. So I think there will be a lot of value on the underdogs there.
Oh, I love it. I love that angle of it. By the way, watching Albert Pujols try to steal a base was like watching, I used to have a pet turtle. It was like watching that. It was just, oh my God, it was painful. And every time they showed the replay, I was like, is he running or is that a fast walk?
A fun stat, though, he actually hasn't been thrown out since 2016. I believe it was 12 straight stolen bases that were successful.
Wow.
That doesn't mean he'll always be successful.
That's right. That's a staggering number. It truly, truly is. Now, there are 2 more games tonight in the NBA, and if they're as good as Tuesday and Wednesday were, we're in for an absolute treat. Hawks and the Cavs, Pelicans, and the Clippers. But there's one player, one name, Alex, that could have a big impact tonight. Who is it?
Yeah, one very important name. That's Jarrett Allen, coach. He's potentially returning to the Cleveland's lineup tonight after missing the last 19 games after fracturing his middle finger. The Cavs went 7-12 with him on the shelf, 9-17 this season without Jarrett Allen compared to 35-21 when he is on the court. The Cavs had a defensive rating of 108.1 with Jarrett Allen, 115.9 without him. Only the Celtics, Suns, and the Suns have a better defensive rating this season, and only the Blazers and Rockets had a higher defensive rating with Jarrett Allen off the court. So we're looking at 2 very different teams with and without him. To add some additional perspective, the Utah Jazz defensive rating with Rudy Gobert was 110 this season, 117 without him. So that's the type of impact that Jarrett Allen has on the defensive side. As of now, we still don't know if he's actually going to suit up, but it does appear like he will. We also don't know if he does suit up, if he'll be on a minutes restriction. But to me, when this line opened as a pick'em, I definitely think that people, the odds makers, are certainly expecting Jarrett Allen to play. And if he does, it's going to be a big, big boost to Cleveland's chances tonight.
A big, big boost, no doubt about it. However, it's time to get into our board for the day. We're going to play right off that storyline right here, right now. 2 big plays from SportsLine. And if you're not a SportsLine member yet, we have been doing this for a year and a half. And I tell you every single day, what are you doing? It's not about picking winners every single day. It's about getting the information. It's about using it for your benefit. But we're all here together to lift each other up. So today, 2 big plays, both from the NBA games. We're going to go over. We believe the market has overcorrected too much. So over 215.5 in the Pelicans and the Clippers. This hits in 62% of our simulations. Then in the other game, we're going to go over 223. Hawks, Cavs. The over's 3-1 this season between these 2 teams. The jitters are out. The nerves are out. They're going to score and score big tonight. We'll take the overs in both games. All right. So, when we have a bad day, and it happens every now and then, sometimes you need a little pick-me-up. Sometimes you need just to smile just a little bit. And that's why we came up with this all those months ago, and it still rings true. So, it's time for my guys. M squared. You know the drill, son! Give it to me.
All right, Coach. We're going back to a first 5 play with the Houston Astros. First 5 on the money line, -120. Road game, division game for them against the Seattle Mariners. However, the Mariners are the team also dealing with the travel aspect here as they played yesterday in Chicago after that series. I like the spot to pick on Marco Gonzalez. If you look at some of the advanced data in terms of how often pitchers are getting barreled up, which is the perfect combination of the launch angle and just the velocity off of the bat. He is one of the worst pitchers in Major League Baseball last year. 3rd from the bottom, getting barreled up 8.4%. From a pitching standpoint, you'd like to see that number around 3%, or obviously as low as you can, but around 3 to 3.5%. He's getting barreled up twice as often as some of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball. The Astros still have a number of hitters that can hit left-handed pitching incredibly well. They're the better team here in this spot. I think Seattle comes out a little flat in this one, so I'm taking the Astros on the first 5 money line, -120.
I love it when you say barreled up. I don't know why. I just like it when I hear you say barreled up. That means we're right in the throes of our Major League Baseball season, week 2, week 3, whatever it is. I love to hear barreled up. Now, Johnny, I am treading very lightly today with you because this energy, this heel persona per se that you brought to the show today scares me just a little bit. And I feel like maybe you might be betting a little emotionally today. So with your permission, I'd like to give Prop Stars the maestro spot. And I'd like to have you go right now, just so I can settle the nerves just a little bit. Is that okay with you, sir?
Hey, that's all good, Coach.
Okay, great. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
All right. Let's go with the Red Sox first. Red Sox money line -122 versus the Twins. It's risen a little bit. I believe it's -135 on William Hill now. I'd probably take it up to -145 though. Nick Pivetta struggled in his first start, but that was against the Yankees, who he's struggled against in his career. Joe Ryan also didn't pitch much better on opening day, and now is at home. This is the Red Sox home opener, and I think Alex Cora is going to use every reliever at his disposal to try to get this win, especially since they were off yesterday. And this is still only Joe Ryan's 7th career start for the Twins, and he should be getting the full brood of the Red Sox lineup. Usually I don't take home openers into account much, but so far this season, it seems like most teams have been winning them. So I like the value on the Red Sox at home. I've got one other play too. White Sox money line -140 versus the Rays. So Drew Rasmussen for the Rays has been very good, but he doesn't pitch deep into the game, which is very key here. That's a problem considering the Rays bullpen has pitched 26.2 innings in their last 4 games. The starters have accounted for just 9.1 innings of the 36 innings pitched in the past 4 days. So the White Sox essentially had yesterday off, resting all their starters and not using any of their top bullpen arms. I honestly think Dylan Cease will win a Cy Young at some point this year. Or sorry, not at some point this year, at some point in his career. But I love him, and I love the White Sox at home here against a strikeout-heavy Rays team.
By the way, yesterday, I believe, because I try to educate people so much here on the show, that there's so much more at SportsLine. You had Seattle because of all those reasons yesterday, did you not? You were the only one.
Yeah, the reason I didn't play it on the show is because I wanted to see lineups, and I assumed there would be players out, but I can't play it on the show not knowing. So I had to save that one for the website, but we did win that one, luckily.
There you go. And that's the education we're talking about. Sometimes my guys and ladies don't give out anything on the show because of the lineups. And then you get them, and then you play it. And that's why you have SportsLine, because you have the write-ups there, and you have all the analysis there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, now it's time to cash it with the coach. By the way, the one play we gave out yesterday, we do have a lead in that. It's precarious. We have Colin Morikawa in the tournament over Cam Smith. Today, we're going to go with a round 2. It starts around 1:07 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you get this in. We're going to go Patrick Cantlay. Love this number, -121 over Justin Thomas. The numbers speak to this play. Only laying 21 cents speaks to this play. And if you watch JT play on Thursday, he was hitting it all over the yard and somehow managed to still score a little bit. Cantlay was on fire yesterday. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to play well this week. We'll take him today in round 2. All right. So I'm glad we got everything sorted out and no egos are bruised as far as where we go in the show. But this man is a rock star for a reason. Alex, you're up.
Yeah, I am, Coach. And I think most SportsLine subscribers would attest if you've been tailing me for a while. I typically stay away from superstar points totals in the NBA, especially when they get north of 30 points. But there is one I like quite a bit tonight. That is Trae Young over 29.5 points. It's 29.5 on DraftKings. I believe it's 30.5 on other books. I'm fine with taking a position at 30.5. I'll kind of break down why. Young scored 30, 41, 35 in his 3 previous games against the Cavs this season, averaging 32.5 points versus Cleveland in the regular season. The last game where we saw Trae Young struggle, only score 24 points, Charlotte was blitzing him pretty much the entire first half and into the second half, and it resulted in the Hawks winning by 30 points and Trae dishing out 11 assists. He still took 24 shots in the game, however, shot 1 of 7 from 3, still managed to score 24 points. Gallinari shot 7 of 12 from the field. DeAndre Hunter, 9 of 16. Capella, 6 of 9. Herter, 5 of 9. And 3 of 4 from deep. All these guys around him can hit open shots and score threes, obviously, besides Capella. And if the Cavs decide to deploy a similar strategy, which I do not think they're going to do after watching that game versus Charlotte, the same thing will happen. So I believe Trae is going to be in single coverage quite a bit. I think he could play 40 minutes tonight as well. And I just think this is a great spot. He rarely has 2 poor shooting games in a row. He's a very clutch playoff performer as well. I just don't think Cleveland is going to swarm him the same way the Hornets did. And I love volume. I preach it all the time. Trey is going to shoot 25-plus shots tonight. He's going to score over 30 points as well. Let's go.
It's all in tonight. Every team, it's all in. You got to play your guys the most. There is no tomorrow for the loser here tonight. You know, one thing I also like about the show, and Alex, I need to preface this by saying I'm sorry on behalf of the person who's distracting everybody, because having the SportsLine account during the show is kind of like Wizard of Oz. You're not supposed to know who the wizard is. It's kind of like just give out information during the show and then let me do the entertaining portion of the show. However, when you read something like this, oh, I'm sorry, you don't like Trae Young props at 30-plus points with an angry emoji face? Who do you think is running the SportsLine account during the show? Show your face. Show your face.
I was hoping that I could come in with like a photoshopped picture of Jeweler and just blame it on him.
Oh, my gosh. Now, AB, this is a perfect spot for us to educate everybody, because 2 days ago, I educated you, or 3, whatever it was, and I won a showdown because Trae Young went south of 30 points. And so you're upset about that. But as Alex just said, this is a different kind of defense. Do you understand why Alex would take this play and you lost your play?
Yeah, I do. I love it. I think that, his breakdown was absolutely correct. And what he's not going to find himself doing is sending you a Venmo at 2:30 in the morning. So props well done on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the play.
When the better half is going, why did that just ding on your phone? Who is that texting you? Oh, don't worry. It's just Venmo. Oh, we're good. She rolls over and goes back to sleep. As long as it's Venmo, I can get a text in the middle of the night.
Absolutely. Look, absolutely. And look, I'll say this. To make up for it for my distractions in the chat, I'll drop everybody a quick little Chick-fil-A nugget of the day as we get prepared for the NBA playoffs. If you're betting series, okay, since 2013, 7 seeds and 8 seeds are 0-36 in playoff series. 0-36. So just something to keep an eye on. You boys have a good show.
Oh, thank you very much. And by the way, you can bet that minus 680 money line on that 1-8 matchup anytime you would like. And we would be happy to endorse that here.
Hey, I know somebody who might.
Oh, my God. You're a savage. And that's why Thomas in the chat says the greatest heel producer in the game. I would say after that comment, Thomas would be correct. Holy cow. But sometimes there's truth to every joke, as they say. All right, we are up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s, M squareds on Astros first 5 for all those incredible reasons that he gave you. Prop stars, one big prop tonight. Trae Young over 29.5 points. But as always, follow all of my guys on Twitter. You never know when they're going to be dropped something on their page. Johnny B, the emotional Johnny B. I love it. Red Sox money line. White Sox money line. Then if you want to cash with the coach today, let's take Patrick Cantlay over Justin Thomas. I saw somebody in the chat said, Coach, what about Cantlay over Corey Connors? Interesting. I don't hate it, but Corey Connors played really, really well yesterday. But I just think Cantlay, it's going to be his week. He is fired up. He's got a chip on his shoulder. So I like that as well. Then 2 plays from SportsLine. We're going to go overs in both NBA games tonight. Pelicans, Clippers, Hawks, and the Cavaliers. And then you just saw the big old smiling, beaming face of dial-up plus 425. Astros on the money line. Hawks, Cavs over 223. And Clippers on the money line. And that is a tasty, tasty return. That's all the damage that we can do. But as you all know, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you do know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. M squared, Johnny B, prop stars, and of course, AB always beaming on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. We're here every single day. We grind and we grind for you. Let's do it together. Oh, I love SportsLine and I love the early edge. Good luck.